Hi and welcome. My name is Mora, and if you haven't been to my channel before, I make videos about driving around Mexico, which me and my dogs have been doing for the last 5 months until recently when we stopped in Patzcuaro, Michoacan, and decided to stay for a few months to rest from all the traveling and to really explore and enjoy the area. This pause in our traveling has enabled me to answer a question I've had for really many years. And you may have too if you're thinking about relocating to Mexico. And that is, can you live for under $1,500 a month, US dollars, per month in Mexico? I've been wondering about that for a long time and if I really could do it. Moving around Mexico has been super fun and exciting for me. And I've been loving exploring and discovering all the different areas in Mexico. I feel very lucky to be able to do this, and I'm having a wonderful time with many great experiences. But there are benefits of staying in one place for a while. For one thing, you get to really know the area, what cities and towns are close by, the people, the weather, the environment. It's really fun to visit a place for a week at a time, but it takes longer if you really want to get to know a region. Another thing is it was taking a lot of my time planning, deciding where to go, investigating, researching everything you need to do to plan to travel around a country. It was taking me a lot of time. And I love this stuff. I've been doing this kind of thing for years whenever I travel. But a break from the planning is nice after 5 months. A third thing is that the cost of living while stationary is much different than traveling every 1 to 4 weeks like I had been doing. So now that we're stationary in Patzcuaro, Michoacan, I can assess the differences money-wise and see how much less it costs to live in one place for a few months. And that's what I'm here to tell you about this week. If you saw last week's video, you saw that I summed up my expenses for each of the month as I had been traveling through Mexico, moving every 1 to 4 weeks. And it's very interesting to see how much it costs while you're traveling versus how much it costs while you're stationary in one place. There are so many different areas you could choose to live in Mexico. It's a large country with very diverse terrain and almost every climate you could imagine. From jungles to deserts, mountains to beaches, it would take a lifetime to explore the whole country. Just so, different regions in Mexico have different economic environments too, some being more expensive to live than others. I am paying my utility bills separate from my rent for the first time since I've been in Mexico, and I'm really interested to see if it will increase my expenses a lot or a little. I have a very nice landlady who lives next door on the property, and she gives me some of my bills, like electricity, and they pay 2/3 and I pay 1/3, and they're such nice people. They're so nice, and I get the feeling they want me to stay really long term, so I wouldn't be surprised if they sort of rounded down on the bills a little bit to make me more comfortable. The other thing is the gas. The gas for the house for the cooking is an estimate because it takes 1,500 pesos to fill up the whole tank, and I'm told I might use one tank every 3 months, so that's an estimate. And the rest of my bills are accurate. Some people may not believe me, but I don't go out a lot, and I don't eat a lot, and I don't go out to eat a lot. So my bills for entertainment are very low, and I just don't buy a lot of extra things. And that's why I'm able to have such an inexpensive life. So this is the bottom line, how much I spent for the month of August here in Patzcuaro, Michoacan in Mexico. And like I thought, it's a lot less than it was than when I was traveling around, jumping around every 1 to 4 weeks. It's pretty surprising. I will go over the expenses I had in US dollars because my audience primarily seems to be in the United States, but I'll also include pesos if you're curious about pesos. For rent, including Starlink internet here at this beautiful casita, I paid 500 US dollars. Part of the deal is that I pay an extra fee for the housekeeper and gardener once a week, but he only came 3 times this month, so that was $75. Gas for cooking, baking, and hot water heater was $25. I paid $6 for electricity here. Drinking water, $10. For phone, I pay in US dollars because I use Airlo eSIM, and that was $17. For trash, I paid $5. Gasoline, I filled up the tank once with 1,000 pesos, or it's 3/4 full, and I haven't used that up. So I'm calling that $50. For groceries, including Costco, dog supplies, dog food, I paid $182. For restaurants and entertainment, like I said, I only go out like maybe once a week. I paid $65. Incidentals like a gift for a friend, laundry detergent, house cleaning supplies, I paid $22. These are just my basic expenses at the current exchange rate for the US dollar and the Mexican peso. Keep in mind that there are other expenses in life beyond these basics. I pay for private health insurance, which I did not include here, subscriptions on the internet, vet bills, there's a whole host of things that could come up during a month. These are my basic expenses, and this is what I paid. The bottom line is I paid $957 to live here in Mexico in this lovely casita for the whole month of August. That's quite a difference from what I was paying when I was jumping around a lot. And like I thought, it's quite a bit lower. So I'm very happy about my costs for August here in Mexico. And the primary reason for that is a stable and low cost long-term rental. I'm paying as much as I was before for groceries and entertainment, but the long-term rental here is really bringing my costs down. Not having those Airbnb fees really helps. Please remember, we all have different lifestyles, and there's no way for me to tell you if you could have this kind of inexpensive lifestyle in Mexico. I don't know you, I don't know how you live, but this is how I live, and I've satisfied that very old question I have of, can I live in Mexico for less than $1,500 a month? Yes, I can, right here and right now. So I hope that helps you figure out your plans and how much it might cost you to live in Mexico. It's been very interesting to figure all this out, and I hope it inspires you to have a better life for less in Mexico like me. One last thing I wanted to say, and that is where you go in Mexico really matters when it comes to expenses. One of the reasons I've been able to keep my costs down is because I'm not afraid to get away from the tourist trail. And I see people recommending online the same 5 towns over and over again. And I want to say there's a whole big country out here, and it's worth exploring. Get away from your expat enclaves and see what else is out here. It'll really bring your costs down, and you'll get more of a sense of real Mexico. People ask me almost every day, oh, you must be fluent in Spanish, and I'm not. I'm still a beginner, and I try to learn every day, and I try to practice every day, but I'm far from fluent. So don't let that stop you. Come on out in Mexico and see some places that aren't on the regular tourist trail.